Hey guys, I know it's been a while with Christmas and everything. I've been kind of busy, but I've been working on a few things, and one of those is this video now, which is my top 10 favorite games of the year. Now, before I go into the list, there are quite a few games I didn't get to play this year, which is unfortunate. Just off the top of my head, Far Cry 3 came out not too long ago. That game looks amazing. And I wasn't looking forward to that at all, actually. You know, the gameplay they showed of it in the past and the trailers I thought were just kind of, I don't know, weird and just, it didn't look any good. And then ever since the reviews came out and said it was amazing, I looked more into it, and it looks phenomenal. The storyline looks great. So there's that. I didn't get to play that. Sleeping Dogs is another title. I actually picked it up not too long ago, but I haven't started it, so I haven't gotten around to that. That may have been able to make my year-end list. A bunch of other games. I do want to make a special note of Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, I played that game last year. I know a lot of people have that on their lists, and they played it this year. I played that last year, got 30 hours into it, and my save file got erased, so that kind of sucked. I do have the American version. I haven't gotten around to it yet, so that's not going to be a making appearance. Though, from what I did play of that game, it's fantastic. I can definitely assure you that it would probably make my list somewhere. And before I get into the list, there's one thing I'd like to mention. These are my personal favorite games. They're not what I would consider like the best. I'm not saying these are the best games. They're the games I personally enjoyed. So, obviously there are some games that came out this year that I haven't played, and some that, you guys may have enjoyed, but I didn't. I will say there is a game, Persona 4 Golden on the PlayStation Vita. Now, I don't own a Vita, I didn't pick this up. I can guarantee you that would be my game of the year if I had played that. I played Persona 4 for the PS2 for the first time this year, and absolutely fell in love with it. It's one of my favorite JRPGs now, one of my favorite games of all time. The Persona series is so great. It kind of introduced me to the Shin Megami Tensei series. Persona 4 was just awesome. I played it this year, had a blast. So I will say, really, technically that would be my game of the year, but to be fair, that's a 2008 game, I think it was, so even if I had played the Vita version and, loved it just as I did the PS2 version, it wouldn't have made the list anyway. But if you have a Vita, I implore you to go out and buy Persona 4 Golden. I mean, that game is terrific. Even if you're not into RPGs, I would highly recommend it. It's just a fantastic game. Anyways, with all that said, let's get right into the list with number 10. At number 10 is Mass Effect 3. I know this game got a lot of hate this year. The controversy with the ending was absolutely insane, and I will admit I didn't like the ending. I thought, my choices in the end really didn't matter all that much, and how BioWare handled the epilogue with all the DLC, I thought was frankly kind of disgusting. But I can't deny the amount of fun I had playing through the game. A lot of just great set-piece moments. I think I did enjoy it overall more than Mass Effect 2. There were more RPG elements this time around. I enjoyed that. It just was a phenomenal experience. The storytelling was pretty much great as always. The writing, for the most part, was phenomenal. Visually, a gorgeous game, and a really underrated soundtrack this year. One of the best soundtracks of this year, I'd say. And it actually had a multiplayer mode that was quite good. I wasn't looking forward to that at all, and it's actually a really great horde mode kind of thing. It doesn't really tie into the story as well as I would have hoped, but I had a blast with it for the few hours I put into it. I don't really get crazy into multiplayer, but that's one of the few multiplayer modes this year that I really enjoyed. So yeah, overall, Mass Effect 3, definitely an enjoyable game and one of my favorites of the year. At number 9 is Dragon's Dogma. Now, Dragon's Dogma is an interesting title. A lot of people I think were interested in it for the Resident Evil 6 demo. I bought it because I was always interested in it in the sense that it seems Capcom was trying to go for that kind of Western RPG experience, like a Skyrim. But I wanted to get it because it was still a Japanese game, and I was very impressed with this game. Very underrated game that not a lot of people talk about. It's got some of the best combat I've ever seen in an open-ended Western RPG. It's got a great challenge level to it. I mean, tons of great RPG elements, lots of depth to it, unlike a game like, say, Oblivion, which I found the RPG elements lacking in that one. The visuals, not so great, and I will admit the lack of fast travel, or at least lack of fast travel for a long time, kind of bugged me in spots, but I just thought the whole world was fascinating. The ending to this game is absolutely nuts. I absolutely love the ending, but by far the best part about this game were the boss battles. Some of the best boss battles this year were in this game, Dragon's Dogma. Just epic multi-part boss battles, some great creature designs, just a really fun open-world RPG that completely caught me off guard. Overall, a very terrific game. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. At number 8 is a downloadable title on Xbox Live Arcade, and that's Dust: An Elysian Tale. I played this actually not too long ago and immediately fell in love with it. The crazy thing about this game is that it was designed by one person. The programming, the art, and the art, I should say, the visuals in this game are fantastic. Just a beautiful hand-drawn world. I don't know, the visuals are just absolutely fantastic in this game. I love the Metroidvania gameplay with some nice RPG elements, some great level designs, a nice sense of challenge to it too when you play on the harder difficulties. Doesn't overstay its welcome. A quite fascinating and mature storyline. And I know a lot of people weren't into the furry art style. I didn't mind it. I thought it was great. The voice acting is fantastic. I pretty much love everything about this game, and is definitely one of the best downloadable titles I played this year. If you have an Xbox 360 and you have Xbox Live Arcade, definitely check it out. It was on sale for 600 points not too long ago. That's when I bought it. It's back up to 1,200, which is around $15. Entirely worth that price. A phenomenal 2D platformer RPG. Definitely worth your time. At number 7 is yet another downloadable title, and this is one that I'm sure will appear on a lot of people's lists, and that is Journey. Journey is just a magical experience. I haven't played Flower or Flow yet from that game company, the guys who did this game, but I would really love to play those games now after playing Journey. I mean, Journey is this kind of short experience, but it is so magical and really is revolutionary in terms of its multiplayer. There's no communication other than short, signals and things like that. You can lose your partner and they can be gone forever. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows about this game by now, but obviously the visuals are absolutely stunning. One of the best looking games of the year, one of the best soundtracks of the year, which was nominated for a Grammy, which is really quite special. The gameplay is nothing too crazy, but really it's the journey itself is why you have to play this game. Just a phenomenal experience from start to finish, and towards the ending of the game is when it really hit me, when the game just completely blew me away. I've played through it about 5 or 6 times now, and it doesn't get old. Just, as I said, a magical experience, and definitely one of my favorite times I've had this year playing video games. At number 6 is Diablo III. Despite this being number 6 on my list, I couldn't help but feel disappointed. Diablo 3, quite simply, is not as good as Diablo 2, or even the first one in my opinion. It's missing that dark kind of atmosphere, and it doesn't get challenging until you get to the Inferno level of difficulty. With that all said, well, actually I should mention the skill system in this I didn't enjoy as much as the skill trees in Diablo 2. Despite all that though, I've put in probably over 200 hours into this game, and for that I have to include it on the list. It's just so much fun. Just the hacking and slashing, the looting, playing with your friends. I mean, I played through this with some good friends of mine and my brother, just like we did Diablo 2 and Diablo 1 back in the day. And it's just a total blast. Definitely my favorite multiplayer experience of the year. So despite my disappointment with the game, it's still a top-notch hack and slash game. Just a whole lot of fun, really. At number 5, getting into the top 5 now, is XCOM Enemy Unknown. This is a terrific game. Now we're getting into the games where I basically don't consider them to have very many flaws, if any at all, and this is one of those games. And the thing with this game is, even if you're not into strategy games, whether it be turn-based or real-time, there's a good chance you'll get into this one. It's very accessible. Yeah, old fans of XCOM, which I'm not one of them, I didn't play it back in the day, and new fans like me can get into this game and have a blast with it. It's even got the Fire Emblem type permadeath, where if your characters die, they're dead for good, and that adds an immense amount of tension to this game that's just absolutely amazing. The base aspects to the game are flat out phenomenal. The strategic combat is just awesome. There's just so many different things you can do in this game. The replay value is through the roof. Just a terrific strategy game from start to finish. Lots of content, lots of replay value, and a nice visual style that I wasn't expecting. The characters look like action figures. I love that. And this game overall, just a really pleasant surprise. I was not looking forward to this game whatsoever until release, and I'm so glad I picked this game up. XCOM Enemy Unknown, a fantastic game, definitely one of my favorite games of the year. It's sitting nicely at number 5. At number 4 is the only handheld game to make the list, and that is Virtue's Last Reward. Now, with this game, I actually put in about 13 hours into it when it came out. I was super excited. 999 on the DS is one of my favorite games of all time. I will say first that I do not enjoy this game as much as that one, but I still loved it enough for it to make top 4 on my list. Now, I got a game-breaking bug and had to restart the game all over again, and despite that, and that's an inexcusable problem in my opinion, despite that, I love this game to death. The story is absolutely mind-blowing. A very long game at 30 hours plus. The storyline is always intriguing. It's always keeping you guessing. They added a lot of nice things in this game over 999. You don't have to replay the same puzzles over and over again to get all the different endings. 24 endings in this game, which is awesome. It's great kind of piecing together all the mysteries this game has to offer. The character designs are fantastic. The voice acting, which is a big thing with this game over 999, is great all across the board. I can go on and on and on. There's so many great things about this game, and it's unique. These visual novel games are a new thing for me, and I'm really enjoying my time with them. One of the best experiences I've had on a handheld this year, despite that game-breaking bug. Where I say it's not as good as 999 are the puzzles themselves. A lot of them I found were overly frustrating. I'll admit I used a walkthrough for quite a few of the puzzle rooms because they just got tedious to me. You'll be using the DS to, write codes down. I was always doing that. I don't know, I think the puzzles were just better in 999. They were more exploration-based, where this one, there's a lot more math puzzles in this game, which I didn't like too much, but the story overall in this is just absolutely fascinating and mind-blowing. Very adult, too. Definitely an amazing game. I can't wait for the third one in the Zero Escape series. Number 4 on my list, Virtue's Last Reward. Awesome, awesome game. Now, my number 3 game is one that came out very early in the year, and one I feel went completely under the radar. No one talks about this game anymore, and it's a real shame because it's by far one of my favorite games of the year, and that is Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii. This game is one of the most charming, humorous, and just flat-out fun games I've ever played. I will say, it's the most fun I've had playing a video game all this year. I like the Rhythm Heaven series quite a bit. I enjoyed the DS one quite a bit, but I did feel the touchscreen controls weren't quite so accurate in that one. I haven't played the Game Boy Advance one, so I know that one's a favorite, but this is my favorite in the series so far. Just button controls, no gimmicky motion controls in this game. Very challenging rhythm game, but all the types of mini games that you have, it's very WarioWare-esque, and I think this game might have been by the same developers as that. I'm not entirely sure. Just really humorous visuals. It's got that Nintendo style. Just an awesome game. So fun. It's got quite a bit of a learning curve, but once you get into it and start perfecting the games, it's just a total blast. One of my favorites of the year by far. If you have a Wii, definitely check out Rhythm Heaven Fever. just it went by forgotten, I feel, this year. And it stands up with some of the best games that came out this year. Just a terrific game. And at the number 2 spot is Max Payne 3. This game I know a lot of people were disappointed in. I'm a pretty big Max Payne fan. I really enjoy the first 2 games, and I really love Rockstar games, so I had no doubt they'd impress me with this one. But I was shocked just how much I love this game. This is one of the best third-person shooters I've played in years. It goes back to basics in terms of the health system, which I loved. There's no regenerating health in this game. You've got to find health pickups and use them when you need them. Your slow-mo, which is, of course, Max Payne's staple, you only get it ever so often, so you got to really use it sparingly. It's a very challenging game that demands skill and accurate aiming, and I love that. The storyline, very gritty, very dark, very adult, but absolutely fascinating. The dialogue in this game is terrific. Max Payne is just such a great character. I liked what Rockstar did with him. His language in this game is maybe a bit less, I don't know what the word is, maybe, I don't know, not as flowery maybe, I don't know, as the originals, but just as good as those games, really. The music, one of the more underrated soundtracks of the year. There's an airport scene where a certain song plays. When I got to that moment, first time playing through this game, I was blown away. I was just like, oh my god, this is incredible. So many great set-piece moments in this game. It doesn't ever get repetitive. Tons of great modes. There's the New York Minute mode, which is just so much fun. It's even got a surprisingly good multiplayer mode to it, with good ranking system, lots of weapons to unlock. Just a total blast all the way around, and a total surprise this year for me, and definitely one of my favorite games this year, though not quite at the top. Alright guys, at number 1, my favorite game of 2012, and it's gotta be The Walking Dead. Now, I held off on downloading the Walking Dead episodes on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, PC, because I knew that they were going to release it all on disc, and I wanted to go through all the episodes within a couple of days to get the full effect, because I had heard some amazing things about this game, and I've generally been a huge fan of storytelling in video games. I had heard the story in this game was absolutely unbelievable. So I was expecting good things from this game. What I didn't expect was one of, if not the greatest storyline I've ever seen in a video game, some of the best written dialogue I've seen in a video game, and some of the most emotionally gripping scenes I've seen in any entertainment medium. I'm not ashamed to admit this game made me cry. One of 2 games, the other game being Mother 3. This game, The Walking Dead, it's a benchmark for storytelling in video games. The choices you make in this game affect the outcome. Well, I wouldn't say outcome, but they affect things that happen throughout the game. So basically what you choose in this game, most other people will probably choose different things. Your experience with this game will differ from so many other people. And some of the choices you have to make in this game are brutal. It's a very dark game, of course. I think it's better than the TV show. I'm a pretty big fan of the TV show. I think it's gotten really good, but this game's on a whole other level. I haven't played a Telltale game before. I wasn't huge into the puzzle aspects. I mean, the puzzles in this game are very simple, very straightforward, but I think they needed to be, or else it may have been too tedious. And the shining point of this game, the high point, is the storytelling, the choices you make, the characters. The characters in this game, you genuinely care about them. Clementine, for instance, one of the greatest child characters I've seen in any entertainment medium. The main character, Lee Everett, a great African-American character. This game hits so many notes and just does everything so well that it needs to do well. It completely fascinated me. I was invested 100% of the time, and it's by far the most memorable experience that I had this year, and I look forward to going back to this, further down the line in a couple of years, and experiencing it once again. I know they're doing a Season 2 of this game now, Telltale. I'm very excited to see that. This game is just phenomenal. If you haven't checked this game out, I highly recommend you do so. Just phenomenal. Definitely the best game I played in 2012. But yeah, that's basically my list, guys. I hope you guys had a good Christmas and a good New Year. In terms of my next video, I'm going to be doing my December pickups. I didn't get too much for December, but I'll still show it off. I'm expecting some things in the mail, so when I get those, I'll have that video up. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.